Hi, everybody. This is Amy Summers. I was a mentor on the project for identifying the elephant in the room. And Ledora, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Ledora Brown. I also was a mentor on the Elephant in the Room project.
And we welcome you to our student feedback. Ledora and I were meeting on this. We had such a great run of panels with this seminar series that we felt like we really wanted to go back to the students that we began the project with and ask their perspective on the whole thing, what it was like to work on the elephant project, which I'm sure many of you are very curious about. But what also their takeaways were, because as you know, during the series, we heard a lot from the alumni, and the students you're going to hear from today were the ones that introduced our alumni in the various panels. But then we made it a very safe environment, so everybody was kind of pulled back. So you really didn't get to see what some of the student reactions were. And I feel like over time, Ledora, do you agree? Like it's been a process as we go through each panel, our takeaways?
Absolutely. Although we've been talking about the overall same framing topic of racism in communications industries, each panel has definitely had a very individualistic view of what their experience has been segmenting in different industries. So definitely different takeaways depending on the industry.
So we're excited to get our students' feedback. And so, Ledora, I'll pass it over to you to see who's here today.
Yes, I mean, the student champions have been like probably my biggest accomplishment in this. I'm so proud of all of our students. So I want to give a chance for each one to introduce themselves. I'll start with Kayla. Please introduce yourself with your name, school, graduating year, your organization's name, your major. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Wallace. I am a graduating senior public relations major, poli-sci minor. I'm from Long Island, New York, and I attend Howard University. I am the creative director of our chapter of PRSSA.
And could you also list the series?
So I was a champion along with Mackenzie on the political series of the part of the series. Yeah.
Great. Let's go to Kira. I'm sorry, Kyra. My bad.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Kyra Nicole Grant. I'm a graduating senior broadcast journalism and sports administration minor here at Howard University. I'm the PR director of PRSSA, and I served as champions for 2 series. One was the first sports media series, and the last one was the news media series.
Great. Afreka Banks.
Hello, my name is Afreka Ebanks, and I'm a third-year public relations major at the University of Florida. I serve as the vice president of the Association for Media Professionals, and I was also the entertainment co-champion.
Rachel, we want to hear from you.
Everybody, my name is Rachel Ray. I attend the University of Florida, and I am AMP secretary. I'm a third-year public relations student, and I was the co-champion for the sports media series.
Awesome. Mackenzie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Mackenzie DeLeo. I'm a third-year student or junior at the University of Florida. I'm majoring in journalism, and I am the vice president of membership for the Association for Media Professionals at UF, and I was the co-champion of the politics series.
Great. Thank you so much. Eliza?
Hi everybody, my name is Eliza Philbin, and I am a senior public relations major at the University of Florida, and I serve as the vice president of media for the Association for Media Professionals. And I was the co-champion for 2 series. One was the healthcare, and the other one was the fashion and beauty.
And last but not least, Ariel?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariel Cooley. I am a senior at Howard University, majoring in public relations with a sports administration minor, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. And I serve as the president of the D. Park Gibson Public Relations Student Society of America chapter here at Howard University. And I had the pleasure of being the student champion for the sports series and the news media series.
Awesome. Thank you, student champions. Again, you were our biggest accomplishment, I think, throughout the entire series. So well done. Amy?
Yeah, so we're going to get into questions. And, you know, we had a lot of questions for our alumni, but Ledora, I don't know. Why don't you hit us up with our first question first?
Okay, this is good. I'm going to ask this question specifically to the leadership, that leadership in the organization. Ariel, can you tell us why your club decided to be involved with this project? And I also would love for Afreka to answer on behalf of UF. Ariel, go ahead.
Yes, most definitely. So at Howard University, one of the things that, we really want to promote is like diversity and inclusion, especially as, being Black people in America and what's going on in society right now. This is a very important conversation that's needed, to have. And I feel like a lot of times people don't really know how to start these conversations. So this was a good gateway to get the conversation going and, have, everyone attend, no matter like where you're from, your status or whatever. Just come in, ask your questions, and just have an open dialogue with professionals within these industries, just to make sure, we're starting this conversation that's, we need to have. So we were very excited to be a part of this conversation and making sure that, that we're playing our part in making sure we do what we have to do. That makes sense.
Does. Afreka?
Yeah, I would say for us, I think because we go to a PWI especially, a lot of these conversations aren't had throughout the UF population. So we definitely wanted to be part of this program because we thought, this could be an amazing opportunity for students who typically don't hear about these issues, and especially in these industries, to finally have an opportunity to hear about it and see what it's really like, especially being a professional that, it's not just kids in school that have to deal with racism. It's adults who are very well established in their careers. And especially with everything that was happening over the summer, I thought it was the perfect time. And Angelica did too. So we're so grateful for this opportunity to give this opportunity not to ourselves, but to also other UF students as well.
One of our objectives with the whole project was, and one of the reasons why Ledora and I did this, was to help better equip students as they go into their careers. We were hopeful that these panels would equip you in a way that maybe a classroom setting might not be able to. So I want to ask, and I'll start with Kayla, what did you learn from the series that you think is going to help equip you and better prepare you in your career?
Absolutely. I think being able to speak with, people who went through our path, kind of walk the long walk at Howard or at UF, and seeing where they are and being able to have conversations and being able to relate to them was really important for me personally. And it was just a really great experience to see that the issues that I'm worried about or I deal with, in my internships or in my, life here, translate, and that, it's not just me personally, but it's, people, and there's people that help me and guide me through that when it comes to like mentorship and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really important.
That's great. Mackenzie, what about you? What did you learn from the series that you think is going to help better equip you in your career?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Kayla, and I received a lot of professional advice from all the panelists, which was awesome. But I think from a more general perspective, being on like the champion side of things, I actually learned resilience. For example, as many challenges as the pandemic has posed for all of us, I do definitely think there have been some opportunities lost, but I think there have also been a lot of opportunities created. This being one of them. I was originally supposed to study abroad this summer, and that opportunity was taken away from me. But, we were presented with this opportunity, and it taught me to be resilient and make the most of it, which I definitely think will be an important, skill or attribute to have for my career going forward, to just make the most of everything and not be too hard on myself.
That's great.
I love that story. Thanks, Mackenzie. And thank you, Kayla, for your answer as well. Moving on to our next question. Rachel, can you tell us who you think was the most memorable alumni from the series and why?
I really liked what resonated with me personally, because I'm interested in the sports media world. I really liked Keith Tribble. He's a UF alum and he had so many experiences. Like, his resume is so extensive, and he gave some really enlightening personal experiences, especially like something that I can't relate to, but it helped me empathize with him. And he was very straightforward. He really told it like it is. And it's a very uncomfortable situation, but he made it very comfortable to talk about it. And I felt like the way he translated things, it made me feel like I was talking to like a mentor or a friend. And it was very like humbling for me as a person, hearing someone of that status talk about their experiences. And it just really resonated with me as a person. And I know it resonated with a lot of other students who were there. And he gave really good real world experiences and just really thoughtful, well thought out answers to everybody else.
Thank you. Ms. Grant, can you answer that question as well? Which alumni from the series really stood out for you?
I'm going to go with Deontay Morris, who's at Spotify. He was also sports editor of my campus newspaper, The Hilltop, and I'm also the editor. So I definitely saw a lot of similarities between us, and he gave like great advice just about being your authentic self, and I think that's super important. Here at Howard University, we really focus on truth and service and character and integrity, and when you're walking into spaces that aren't predominantly Black or have issues with diversity and inclusion, it's important to still stick your ground and to still talk about things that are important, even if like that's racism or representation. He really spoke up. He really spoke to me just about character and integrity and always maintaining that within your professional career, and I loved it.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Amy, I want to ask Eliza this question as well, only because we have both of those are from the sports panel. Maybe Eliza has something else to weigh in on.
Yes, for sure. I really enjoyed hearing from Yvette Miley from the news series. I thought she was so amazing. Honestly, I could hear her talk for so long, and I wish I could have. It was only 1 hour long for the series, but she was so informative, just talking about real-world experiences that she's experienced so far. Really just empowering, and overall, I really, really enjoyed hearing from her.
Thank you.
Ledora, I'm loving this question. I actually want to hear from everybody on it because I think we had 30 alumni in this series, and I'm just loving hearing your feedback. So let's go to Afreka next. Who was the most memorable alumni to you from the entire series, and why?
Oh my goodness, my favorite was definitely one of the moderators, Jonathan Lovitz. I just loved how well he moderated that series and how open he was to the dialogue he was basically creating between the other alumni. I felt like he did such an amazing job and was very inspiring himself, and definitely held that whole series together with the alumni. And I would definitely say he's one of my most memorable guests for the series.
Jonathan is definitely memorable. He was great. Ariel, who was your most memorable alumni from the whole series, and why?
Okay, so one of the most memorable panelists for me was actually in the entertainment series. Actually, just to throw out there, I enjoyed all of them. So this is just someone who's in my career path, so that's why. But I really enjoyed everyone, honestly. So this is a really hard question for me. I'm like over here. But anyway, so I would have to say Jamila Cummings Osana, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. I really enjoyed hearing her matriculation at Howard because it kind of resonated with me, especially as someone who's aspiring to work in PR one day. So I really enjoyed hearing about, how she worked hard to get where she is, and like just hearing about her challenges and just pretty much her whole career journey. So I really enjoyed that conversation, and also with the entertainment spin on things that really interests me because that's the field I want to go in after I graduate. So I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I think she was the one who said, call her up for internship. So I hope you do that. Kayla, what about you? Which one stuck with you from the series?
Personally, I really enjoyed Cameron Trimble from the politics series. I think it was mostly because, again, I saw a lot of myself in him. In the politics sphere, I actually have always wanted to work on campaigns and stuff like that. So him working for Barack Obama and Joe Biden's campaigns are really interesting. And I plan on reaching out to him, actually. So hopefully that'll come to fruition. But it was super exciting.
Yeah, he was another one that was like, I need some
Yeah.
interns. That was great.
Information out. I want to
There
intern.
were so many internship opportunities through these. It was fantastic. Mackenzie, what about you? Most memorable alumni, why?
Yeah, I was also gonna say Cam, but for a different reason, because he had a very non-traditional path to get involved with politics. He said he started as a pre-med student, and it took him kind of like a while to figure out where he really wanted to be. And personally, I thought that was really refreshing to hear from a panelist that, you know, it took them a while to like get to where they were, and they had some obstacles along the road. Because I feel like as college students in today's time, there's so much pressure put on us to figure out what we want to do early on, be involved with all these different things, just always like be doing something right. So to know that, you know, it took him, you know, through these different paths to get where he is, and he's extremely successful, was again just really refreshing to me, and knows that it's like, it's okay, like I'm doing the right thing, like I'm where I want to be, and it all worked out in the end.
Okay, well, I loved hearing from all of you. And actually this next question, I want to popcorn around the room and give a quick answer and hear from everyone, because I think it's such an important question. But what was your biggest takeaway from the entire series? Like the biggest takeaway that's sticking with you? And Eliza, we'll start with you.
I feel like my biggest takeaway is that being informed on this now is more crucial than ever, and having this opportunity during this time, especially when we had the opportunity to do it over this semester, was perfect. And I felt like I personally learned so much, and I'm just really, really grateful for that opportunity.
Kayla, biggest takeaway, the whole series?
I mean, I think Howard can be a kind of a bubble, especially when it comes to things like activism and talking about these issues. And so it's really easy to kind of get lost in our own bubble. And I think it was a really great opportunity to be able to reach out to another university and other students and see what, you know, how their conversations are going, and be able to be part of that as well.
That's great. Rachel Ray?
I think it really hit me how much power like we as communications professionals hold, and how important it is for us to know how to communicate with these issues and how to deal with them, because we're like the middleman between the public and all these industries, no matter what industry you're in. So it's critical and crucial that we know how to speak about this and stand up for what's right.
Great. Kyra?
I guess my biggest takeaway from this series would be to how to navigate throughout the communications, or the communications on all of the other industries, but most importantly, that your voice is important and that your voice cannot be silenced. So just being Black and going to Howard University, we know that racism and these issues persist, but if you take action towards to like eliminating these issues, I think that's where you evoke and create real change. So it's really like it starts with you, and that your voice isn't like your voice is limitless.
Mackenzie?
Yeah, I learned that it is possible to network virtually. A big opportunity that this gave us is that we could network with people literally all over the country, Gators who are all over, Bison who are all over, and we're not just confined to our DC area or our Gainesville area. So again, I learned that I can make connections all over virtually, and I should really take advantage of those resources.
Great. Ariel, biggest takeaway of the whole series?
My biggest takeaway was pretty much just realizing like, you know, all of us have different paths, and although we may think we, you know what we're supposed to do, that life has its own funny ways of doing things, and that, you know, that life is unpredictable, and that at the end of the day, we all may go through certain challenges, and we'll continue to go through challenges, but that isn't our, you know, final say so on things. And that, you know, if we just keep going and keep pushing forward, that we will, you know, ultimately all achieve success one day, and just, you know, being true to who we are as individuals and following our passions. So that really stood out to me.
It's beautiful. Afreka, round us out. Biggest takeaway?
I think I was just really empowered by the level of perseverance that a lot of the alumni showed, because they all went through different career paths, and no matter what, they kept going, no matter what the obstacles were throwing at them. So I found that very, very empowering as a student to know that even going out and graduating into the real world, that no matter what, I should always persevere and have some sense of like resilience. So
I have to say, I continue to be impressed by all of our students. I mean, you guys continue to raise the bar. This might be my favorite panel right here, to be honest with you. So moving on to our next question. And I guess since we're popcorning, we'll go to everybody again. Is there a career path that you're now considering that you weren't previously based on these discussions? So you thought you were going into one path and now maybe you're switching gears. And if not, that's fine, because you're probably already interested in something specific. But was there something that popped into your mind like that made you think twice? I'll go with Mackenzie on this one first.
That's a hard question for me because there's so many things I want to do. And I just feel like there's so many opportunities out there for me and so many different interests I have. But again, to kind of just reiterate an answer that I already gave, I just feel like, people take all these different non-traditional paths and they can take advantage of numerous opportunities along their careers. So I'm not particularly opposed to just kind of sticking with one opportunity and running with it, but just exploring different options. And then going from there, which I definitely think a lot of the panelists did. So that's the path that I think I will take. I know that's like not a traditional answer, but yes.
Kyra?
Kyler Burke and Yvette Miley, they really talked a lot about just their mission. And for me, I've always wanted to work in sports and news, and specifically with athletes and just covering the whole aspect of it from like the business side to the media side. But I've also had like a love for journalism and just an interest in just minority reports and, just making sure the underrepresented and their voices are being heard. But this series, it really reinforced what I really want to do. And if I decide to go into sports or whether it's music or news, I know that I really want to focus on underserved groups and just minorities.
Afreka, same question to you.
I was always just considering entertainment, but the fashion and beauty panel definitely made me consider what it would be like working in the fashion world. So yeah, I would just say fashion and beauty, definitely.
Okay. Rachel Ray?
I would, going off of what Mackenzie said, it kind of gave me so many ideas of what I can do that like I just don't know right now. I never really had a clear path. Like I still don't know what I want to do like as a person in the professional world, but it just opened my mind to all the possibilities. And I've been doing research into all these different fields, and it's a little overwhelming, but also exciting. So I'm not set to one path based off of what degree I get or what major I get. I could go off and do fashion. I could go off and do entertainment. Just the possibilities are limitless, and it was shown through these series.
Eliza, any new career paths you may be considering?
Yeah, honestly, to piggyback off of Rachel, I kind of agree. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I was really interested in the fashion and beauty panel as well. I found it to be really insightful and really valuable insights about what it's like to be in a very competitive industry. But I also love like travel, but we didn't really talk about that in here, but that's also another field that I'm kind of interested in.
Good. And Kayla, can you give us some insight on your career path?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the politics panel really kind of solidified, the opportunities that I could take in politics, but also just listening to all the panelists, I always thought that I would want to be in an agency, but I think now I'm looking more to be in-house and stuff like that. So those are just all the opportunities that I saw, and all the different routes that I can take was also really inspiring. And I think it's important just to see anything you can do as a communications professional.
Ariel, did I ask this question to you yet? Okay, please finish us off.
So with me, although that I do want to work in the entertainment industry, is like I'm not like totally like that's it. So I'm sort of like everyone else in a way. Like I'm still, considering different industries. And I know one of the panels that actually stood out to me, like just based off of research in general as well, is the health series, because of like so much that's going on right now, and especially like what happened, excuse me, especially like in the, with minorities, a lot of things like it's disparities within the healthcare industry. So like just using my platform as a communication professional could really like, help that side of things. So that's something that I really started thinking about more, but I guess I would still say overall entertainment, but I'm not totally like hooked on it. Like I'm still willing to try different industries.
That's great. One of the things that we were hopeful in this series, and I'm just curious to hear from you guys on, is that not only would we get all this great information, but it would encourage you and empower you to take action in different areas. And I'm just curious, was there anything that you learned from the series that prompted you to take action on something this semester that maybe you would have not taken action on previously? And Eliza, I kind of see you nodding your head, so I'm going to go to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything that happened this summer was really eye-awakening, just to see, like, I really was in the dark. And as a white woman, like, I have never, like, had these disparities as my other brothers and sisters have. So it really opened my eyes to educate yourself. Like, that's the first step, is educating, asking questions, take it upon yourself to learn, and really just reach out to people that are going through this, and read books like White Fragility. Like, I read that over the summer. Very eye-awakening for me. So I would say that the first step is learning and then taking action.
Kayla, was there anything that you took action on this fall that was a reflection of the series?
Personally, my current internship is like a local business, but even so, you just see like small things that the business can do to maybe, you know, push their activism, especially in a small community like DC. So, you know, as their public relations intern, I've tried to, you know, push them in directions of kind of solidifying their relationship with the community, and kind of reaching out and, you know, hiring people of color and stuff like that, and kind of just showcasing, you know, this is what we're doing and this is how we're trying to help you guys. So yeah, that's been my experience as well.
That's really great. That's fantastic that you were able to do that as an intern even.
Yeah, that's why I like working for a smaller business. I have way more push, you know, especially, yeah.
That is an advantage. Well, before we go on to our final question, I just want to leave the door open if anybody else wants to answer this question in particular. Did anything from the series prompt you to take action this year?
I think part of it too, I was talking about virtually networking earlier. I think it's really driven me, and I don't know if anyone else feels the same, to just, again, take advantage of those virtual resources, specifically with LinkedIn. After this summer, you know, when we were researching, you know, the panelists on LinkedIn, I was like, I really need to get the ball rolling with that, and update my account and sort of vamp up, you know, my social media to match like the brand that I want to portray. So yeah, just sort of like reaching out to the panelists through LinkedIn and making those connections. I don't think I would have done that had I not, you know, gotten involved with the series. So LinkedIn and, you know, other virtual resources like that have been great to get on this fall.
That's a great point. Yeah, I wish more students would utilize LinkedIn. It's such a big key to find the professionals. Ledora, you want to wrap us up with our final question?
Sure.
This might be a good one for everyone too.
Yeah, I think maybe everyone can probably touch on this. So our final question would be, what has this series taught you about addressing the elephant in the room? Let that marinate for a second. What has this series taught you about addressing the elephant in the room? Ariel, I'll start with you.
Honestly, it just taught me that, like, at the end of the day, that pretty much we'll still face challenges, but that doesn't mean for us to give up, that we can still continue to have these conversations, and that we can continue teaching each other about the differences that's going on, or the disparities, or, you know, the constant struggles that minorities face within this country. And not even minorities, just like diversity in general, like people with disabilities and class and things like that. So just continuing to have these conversations, and pretty much like, it's gonna be rough, but just continue to just, you know, have the conversations and learn from them, and then make changes within your own personal lives. Because if you don't make changes within your personal lives, then of course not going to help. But just, just keep having the conversations, although it will be tough and you have to do your own research outside of things. So.
Great answer. Thank you. Mackenzie?
Yes, I've learned that it's okay to be curious and ask questions. The whole series was based on asking the panelists questions about, their experiences with race and their profession. And I've learned that I don't have to be nervous to ask questions. I don't feel like I have to be shy about it. It's okay to be curious, because at the end of the day, it's better to be educated than to be in the dark.
Excellent. Eliza?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, like, our discussion should not stop by the end of, today. Like, even though the series has ended, we still need to continually have these conversations and actively research on our own. Over the 6-part series, like, we've all learned so much, but there's so much more to learn and to ask and to reach out to those people. That way you're actively being educated.
Kyra?
I think for me, it would be that together we're stronger united than we are like separated or divided. I think when issues and problems occur, especially in the workplace, especially just with the national reckoning of our nation, it's really important for us to stand together. And first, we must really address the issues. And when we address the issues, then we can have further dialogue and just conversations about the things that are going on. And similar to what I think it was Eliza said, the conversation doesn't end here. And it's really important for us, like the panelists were, they were really just giving back to us, telling us about their experiences. It's really important for us to do the same for like future generations and future communications professionals.
I'm just so impressed by y'all. Kayla, is there anything, again, that this series taught you about addressing the elephant in the room?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most important thing is that the conversations like need to be had, and we, especially as communications professionals, are at a really good spot to start them and to facilitate them, especially because of this panel. And I think that we should have them. I think that you see people around curious or questioning, and I think that we have the tools after this panel and just being college students that we can have the conversations, especially as we go into the workplace.
Afreka?
Yeah, like Kayla said, these conversations definitely have to be had. And if there's anything that empowered me more this series, were the panelists talking about how you have to stand up for yourself. And I feel like with the whole race issue and dealing with it in the workplace or even in academics, it's definitely empowered me to call out microaggressions when I see it, because being a Black woman at a PWI, I've definitely experienced a lot of little tiny comments that I'm like, okay, I don't know what you meant by that, but definitely have these conversations and call people out when you can, because I think a lot of times people just don't know. And the more you have these conversations, the more you can possibly change someone's mind to say, oh, I didn't mean it like that. So yeah.
Rachel, ending with you.
Going off of what Afreka said, it's kind of taught me that my voice matters, and so does every voice, because like Kyra said, if you're separated, it's hard, but if you're unified with like little bits of voices come together to make a big voice. And it's helped me kind of call people out on things when I see it, and it's given me the courage to sit down and like have a conversation with someone, hear their perspective, and then you give them yours in a nice, like, calm way, and it helps them understand why they may be wrong. So I've realized that I should speak out and identify little elephants in other people's lives. And it's just definitely given me the courage to do that, when before it's like uncomfortable, but now I'm more comfortable calling people out on things that I see on a day-to-day basis.
Wow. Okay. Well, this was an amazing question panel wrap up of the series in terms of what we've learned, what the students have learned, what you guys have learned, and how you can implement that in your lives moving forward. We definitely want to congratulate you for completing the production of the series. I mean, you guys were amazing. You went above and beyond, some of you even above that. So we're just so proud of all of you for putting your all into this, because I think you get more out of it when you put more into it. So each of you will be receiving certificates in virtual communications and event planning, along with virtual networking and diversity relationships. So congratulations to you on those certificates. Really great job.
Yeah, and we also have a couple other surprises for you. Ledora and I realized, you know, we really didn't know what we were asking you to get involved with in the beginning. I think back to reaching out to first Ariel, Ledora, you did, and then I reached out to Afreka and Angelica, and they agreed to do this. And it was a big piece of the project. We had to have student organizations involved in order for us to produce this. And we really thank you guys so much for trusting us. You didn't know who we were before we started this at all, except that we were alumni and you trusted that. And you guys can thank Afreka later because she kind of gave me this idea, but she was brave enough to ask me if she could count this experience as an internship. And I told her yes. So I want to let all of you know that worked on the project that you may list this on your resume under a NisiVox company, the company I started this year, which is the mentorship company, as internship. And if you go to nisivox.com, we have a new page called Live. And this is our first virtual mentorship live event that we're using as an example of how you can do mentorship virtually. And all your panels are there. And so you can even showcase that in your resume, the work that you've done, it's all there. So please list this as internship work so that it gives you another boost and a New York City byline to put on your internship that you did virtually. So congratulations to all of you on that for getting that. And then Ledora and I were just, this is really hard, but we just felt like we wanted to give a couple of awards to each of, to two members of each of the clubs. And we're calling them our Impressive Awards. And sometimes when people give gifts, and you guys are students, so you're used to this, but sometimes when people give gifts, there's conditions to gifts, right? There's like, oh, this is for a scholarship, or this is for, you have to use this, but you have to go use it this way. And so I'm a big believer in unconditional love, which means to give love without any strings attached. And so today we're gonna give 4 students unconditional cash, is what I'll call it, so that you can do whatever it is that you want to with it. You know, if you wanna use it for your education, fine. If you wanna use it to go get a massage, good for you. Like, we want you to use this money however you want to, because you earned it, and it's not to say that everybody else didn't, but we just want to call out 2 students from each club that we felt did an over and above job on this project. And we're going to give each of these students $250 cash today to go into your bank account like that. Everything's virtual. Don't you love it? And we're going to flip the script a little bit. So as you guys know, I am an alumnus of the University of Florida. Ledora is an alumnus of Howard University. So when we were talking about this plan, we decided to, you know, the whole point of this was to cross boundaries. And so Ledora today is going to award our UF students from her perspective of who she felt like was really impressive in this project. And I'm going to award to Howard students. So Ledora, I'll let you take it away.
So nerve-wracking. But again, just to reiterate what Amy just said, everyone did a great job. Honestly, like Amy said, we didn't, because this is our first time putting on a virtual networking event, so we didn't necessarily understand the ask when we asked it. But by and by, you guys stepped up and really took hold of this as yourself. So I'm not going to be, no more suspense. I'll just spit it out. I'm awarding our first award for UF to Afreka for really just taking ownership of and commanding you had such energy for the project from the beginning, and you kept that energy throughout the series. You were really like one of the commanding officers, I would say, from UF who understood. I mean, I don't want to say who understood the importance of the project. I think you all did. That's why you all agreed to do it. but I think you personalized it very much. And from your social media, it seems like you personalize everything. You call it everything all the time, and you included this as a passion project for you as well. So you did a great job, I think you were the first one to get our graphics together. I think you led our graphics team initially, because that was kind of all over the place, but you took command of that as well. And that was a huge part of this. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I don't know what to say, but thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I know we're on time, but thank you. I love being part of this project, like, so much. So grateful to both of you, honestly.
You're welcome. And my other award goes to Rachel Ray. She was really, really instrumental in that social media push. I mean, that was a lot of work. Even when I said I was going to take on that committee from the mentorship process, I didn't realize how much work it would be. On top of that, so you were on a schedule of getting out these, and I went back and looked at both Howard and UF's social media pages. Like, it's a lot of stuff. And so without that piece of getting that social media push out, I don't think we would have been as successful. So thank you for that. You were awesome. So congratulations to you as well.
Thank you so much. It was just like a great experience and a great opportunity while also like educating myself. So it was just a blessing. And I really thank you too for starting this and giving us all the opportunity to learn more and to help others learn more.
Okay, Bison, Howard University. So the first one that really impressed me was Kyra. So Kyra, you're gonna get an award. I have to tell you, Kyra, you're gonna go far. You really are. You have impressed me since day one with your professionalism. I feel like Kyra, I don't know if anybody else did this, but I know Kyra did. But when Ledora and I originally started getting the alumni to agree, we would put in the Slack channel, hey, we got this alumni, connect with them on LinkedIn. We were trying to get you guys to connect. And Kyra, man, she is on the money every time connecting with alumni. And I know because I had some Gator alumni tell me, hey, so this Kyra Grant woman is asking me about things. Is that okay? And I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And I remember one time Kyra even came to me, you're like, oh, now that I've introduced myself, they're asking me for things. So I really love your professionalism. I feel like you really brought your A game. You championed 2 of our panels. And just everything that you did was so buttoned up, and you worked really hard, and we appreciate that.
I just want to say, sorry, I don't want to take too much time. I just want to say thank you. I was really surprised because I had a really busy semester, and I was just so tired and stressed. So this was really a surprise to me. So I just want to thank both of you and just everyone for helping us. This was really like a team effort.
And you have your Howard background too, so you're totally bringing it even today. And then the second one, it goes to Ariel. Ariel, I don't know how you did it, but I do know why you are president of Howard University PRSSA, because you are a leader in every single way. I don't know if you had 3 or 4 jobs and a full schedule. I don't know how you were doing this whole time, and you were doing the social media. And I know Ledora would message you sometimes. You'd be like, okay, I'll do it after work. I'm like, what? I know you were working nonstop for us. You also hosted 2 of our panels, the first one and the last one, Kyra, and you really did an amazing job. And like I said, in the very beginning, when Ledora was reaching out to you and you guys were trying to figure out if this was going to work, and you were working with your faculty advisor and everything to make that happen, I'm just very, very impressed with you as well. And congratulations.
Thank you so much. Like pretty much what Kyra just said, like, it's been a crazy semester probably for all of us, like working. My job is in California, so I have to go based off of the West Coast. So I'm working at like 9 o'clock at night, 3 times a week. So it's just been a crazy semester, but I'm really thankful and grateful for this whole experience because it has allowed us to make new friends at UF, meet new communication professionals out there, and I'm just very excited about what the future holds for all of us. So I am extremely thankful, and the conversation does not stop today. I'm pretty sure we will all continue to, keep it going. So yeah, thank you.
I think that's the best way to end it. I don't even have any other words, Ariel. That was fantastic. Ledora, do you have anything else?
Ariel literally took the words out of my mouth, which was to say that we built our own network here. So please utilize it, the UF-HU crossover, as well as the NICI-Box crossover. Continue to use Amy and myself as resources, as well as your alumni you've met from both UF and Howard. This is how you build your future. So don't be scared to reach out. I would encourage you to get cell phone numbers now, emails now, while you're in Slack or whatever, so that you have that when that's over with. Just great job, everyone.
Yeah, and I think, someone said it in one of our panels, one of our alumni said it in our last panel. They said, look around the classroom. And I would say, look around this virtual room. One of my regrets when I graduated college was not keeping in touch with a bunch of people, but I did not have the privilege of social media when I graduated. So you guys do. So stay connected, because you never know who your next ally is going to be, who your next boss is going to be, or your manager, that person that's going to help you get your foot in the door. But again, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you guys so much. This has been an awesome series, and we wish you all the best of luck. Of course, Ledora and I are going to be following you guys like stalker moms on, social for the rest of your lives. So you're not going to lose us. All right, guys. So go Gators. Go
Bison.
And goodbye, Elephant.
Come on now.
Goodbye, Elephant. Bye.
Bye. Brady Bunch.
Bye.